June session of Parliament opens tomorrow, June 7, 2022, and is expected to deliberate on the amendment of the 2022 state budget, as well as increase in basic commodities, among other issues. The emblematic activist vice president of the female branch of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement Party, Michelle Ndoki, has expressed her readiness to take up leadership of the CRM party. She made the declaration on a talk show, La Reine, on Canal International. That was yesterday, Sunday, June 5, 2022. And in education, the bilingual BPC examination has kicked off nationwide today and started with the oral exercise. The written part begins tomorrow and will run until Sunday, June 12. In this edition of the news, you will get details of what the bilingual BPC is all about. Good evening once again. You're watching the 6:15 p.m. newscast on Canal International. We begin with the story. Barrister Michelle Ndoki has expressed her readiness to take up the leadership at the helm of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement Party, the CRM. Her declaration was made through a program on Canal International that was yesterday, Sunday, June 5, 2022, saying she would like to run for the post of national president in the next party election. How do party officials actually perceive her outing? Is Maurice Kamto mandate, or is he still eligible to run as president for another mandate for the party? Hi, Sentia, our correspondent from Yaoundé, when finding out from some political party leaders as well as some political analysts, and put together the following report.
Even before the convening of the 2023 convention of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement, the Vice National President of the Women's Wing, Barrister Michelle Ndoki, declares her strong conviction of vying for the post of the National President of the party. The pregnant agenda unveiled during her passage at the program La Reine on Canal International this Sunday, a declaration other party officials have described as democratic, though not timely.
Ndoki has taken the stand and made it public that he will run as candidate for the presidency in the party. It is his absolute right. The party has nothing against it. Not even Maurice Kamto has anything to do against it. Even grassroots militants at the lowest unit can stand for presidency. The important thing is convince the militants to accept and vote you.
Eligibility is the only ticket for any aspiring candidate, he insists.
The only problem will be if you do not fulfill the conditions for eligibility. You must be eligible. The conditions are there.
And asked whether or not Maurice Kamto is still eligible to run for another mandate, given that he has been at the helm for 10 years and standing on the wall of constraints of the party laws, political analysts say it will be against the internal judicial provisions of the opposition party. His two mandates since 2012 will elapse in 2023. So at the moment, the CRM status on the national president does not permit him to be candidate. But the legal mind, Secretary General of the CRM, Don Christopher, clarifies.
Maurice Kamto, if he decides to put his candidature to, which he still has one mandate to do as per our constitution. Party was created in 2012. That first mandate, 2012 to 2017, 5 years to 18, where we did the convention, was a mandate to implant the party. So now, the convention we did in 2018, that is the beginning of a mandate to be counted, because our constitution says we have only 2 mandates. So if we come in again as the next bureau in 2023, our mandate must end after that.
It should be recalled that President Maurice Kamto, in the same Lorraine platform in 2012, underlined that the CRM will respect the clause of a maximum 2 mandate to the latter as a way of portraying a difference in the Cameroonian political landscape.
We now talk education. The BPC, or the bilingual BPC examination, has kicked off nationwide today in the nation's capital, Yaoundé. No absence has been recorded on this first day of the exercise. It should be noted that the written part begins tomorrow and will run until Sunday. Omo Kusome has more.
50 candidates who registered for the bilingual BPC, there is equivalent of the bilingual GC ordinary level in the English subsystem of education at the Government Bilingual High School, Colinton in Yaoundé, answered present this Monday for their examination. They started with oral communication, which has as objective to teach the students how to better behave in the society and to evaluate their knowledge on the contemporary issues.
We came here at 7 and we conducted the roll call. We have 50 candidates, all are present. So after the roll call, we explained to them how we were going to proceed, with the oral communication phase of the exam.
According to the examiners, the organization is successful.
As you can see, they have been assembled into one room so that they cannot be in touch with those who will be meeting the jury to interact with them. And you can see that we have 2 rooms with members of jury. There are 2 members of juries in each room to interact with the candidates.
Before the members of the jury, the candidate gave their very best. After the oral communication, the students will join the others tomorrow for the kickoff of General BPC.
And still in education, we still talk about the bilingual BPC, which was introduced in 2008 but effectively implemented in 2010. It has a objective to teach students oral expression, to know how to write English and French languages properly. Our team of reporters from the nation's capital, Yaoundé, visited one of the examination centers to actually understand what the bilingual BPC is all about. Omokusumi once again.
Oral communication, intensive English, written part of sport and physical education, citizenship and manual labor are the different subjects that marks the specificity of this bilingual brevet d'études du premier cycle BPC examination. These subjects are taught in the French language, in the English subsystem, and in English language in the French subsystem of education. This to respect the norms of bilingualism in Cameroon.
So bilingual BPC is like the very first step in high schools, the very first steps to have our students deal with bilingualism, practice bilingualism in class, be it in speaking or writing. So when we move from BPC, we go to Probatoire and Baccalaureate. So it's all about practicing bilingualism, in reality.
The students happy of sitting this specialty examination of the bilingual BPC say it is an advantage.
Our country is a bilingual country, and to have a job tomorrow, I shall be able to speak in French and in English. And it is because I also want to speak correctly in French as in English.
Though people say Cameroon is bilingual, not me, the introduction of this is for Cameroonians to feel bilingual and be implicated in this system in Cameroon. Though not easy, but the students are at the top of their expectations.
The second ordinary session for the legislative year begins tomorrow, June 7. MPs are expected to discuss about, amongst other issues, the amendment of the 2022 state budget, as well as increments in the prices of some basic commodities. Beatrice Ngamo met with some parliamentarians who are already in the nation's capital, Yaoundé, talked to them and put together the following report.
Parliamentarians will be back at the Yaoundé Conference Center tomorrow, Tuesday, for the start of the June ordinary session for the 2022 legislative year.
The June session is the session dedicated to the debate for budget orientation.
We are expecting to have the amendments for the 2022 budget.
Budget amendment of plus 238, moving from 5,700 to over 6,000 billion CFA franc. The session will also be moment to see into the social issues affecting the population, such as the high cost of basic commodities.
Especially with regards to health issues, the economy, education, security matters. And so I can imagine that questions will be hinged on these particular issues.
Another very disturbing challenge, which has not been given the attention it deserves at Parliament, is the Anglophone crisis.
We think that our National Assembly should hold a special seat to open debate concerning Anglophone crisis, in such to have its own vision, its own proposals in the management of this crisis.
AFCON Gate, another issue which the MPs wants to be clarified, especially on the AFCON buses.
Where are those vehicles? So during this session, we think we will go to oral question to the member of government, so as to make our nation know what is the destination of all those vehicles.
So too the problem of corruption concerning some two major enterprises in the country. This 30 days discussion at Parliament is likely to cover mostly down-to-earth issues, the livelihood of the people they represent.
In the first quarter of 2022, Cameroon registered a 27.8% increase in banana exportation, according to the Cameroon Banana Association. The increment is as a result of the upward performance of the main producers and exporters of bananas, that is, the CDC, the PHP, and Bull plantations. Stephanie Chin has more on that.
Statistics from the Cameroon Banana Association has shown that banana has witnessed a 27.8% increment in exportation in May 2022 year-on-year. Cameroon's three main producers and exporters of bananas are Plantation du Haut-Penja, Cameroon Development Corporation, and the Bull plantations. These producers and exporters exported 16,505 tons of bananas at the end of May 2022, registering a 27.8% increase. An increase which has resulted from the upward performance of Cameroon's three main players in the market. According to the Cameroon Banana Association, the number one in the sector, Plantation du Haut-Penja, shipped 13,623 tons of bananas during the month of May 2022, against 9,888 tons during the same period last year, recording an increase of 27.41% year-on-year. CDC follows suit with 1,805 tons of bananas exported in May 2022, compared with 1,121 tons in May 2021, an annual increase of 37.8%. Bull Plantations comes third. The company exported 1,077 tons of bananas in May 2022, compared with 898 tons in May 2021, recording an increase of 16.6%. The boasting performance is not a surprise in view of the survey and forecast test of the economic situation published last April by the Bank of Central African States, now a reality on ground.
Stephanie Chin. The Togo traditional outfit, an origin of the northwest region of Cameroon, is highly solicited by Cameroonians and foreigners. The huge demand for the fabric has led to a skyrocketing prices of the original material, which sells at 50,000 CFA francs and above, and already designed fabrics at 100 and something thousand CFA francs. The huge amount has led to fake material circulating in market, as we hear in the following report with Marindi.
Among these African fabrics exhibited in one of Cameroon's biggest textile markets, Congo Market in Douala, is the Togo and the Prince. Both fabrics with origins from the northwest and west regions has given Cameroon an international recognition. With origins from the northwest and west origins, Togo has today gone above tribal boundaries and is highly solicited not only by Cameroonians. Foreigners are also fast getting attracted to its beautiful texture. Traders are talk of skyrocketing prices of both fabrics due to its international recognition. The Togo and the fabric have gained attention out of the country with the birth of the social media. The original fabric is more expensive, though there are fake ones too. We also have traders who exaggerate the prices. The prices differ according to the quality of the material. With original, you can buy a meter at 40,000, 50, 60, and even above. From the market, we moved to the streets of Douala, and a number of sale points and shops specialized in the sale of such traditional fabrics only go to attest its growing desire by all. This lady spends all day marking the fabric.
The material that we're using were not as expensive as of now. If you go to the market, there are times that we have shortages of material because they mark the dress and send it out of the country.
Les gens sont en train de comprendre. Les gens veulent rentrer au pays. Ils veulent rentrer en Afrique.
Cameroonians should be proud of this fabric that has exposed our rich traditional cultural potentials. There is elegance and refinement in the Togo and Dub outfits.
Nous sommes en train de valoriser ça dans tout le Cameroun.
We need to valorize the fabric more. In 2020, Togo was won by the Cameroon athletic team in London. Cameroon also won the best outfit and the just-ended Olympic Games. It takes a lot of hard work to produce what you see here. That's why it is expensive. Togo is considered as a real treasure which enhances the beauty of Cameroon and the African continent as a whole.
Togo, a rich fabric for Cameroon. It is with that report that we wrap up this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Canal International. You have the French version at 7:50 with Cathy Mokori. I'll be your same time tomorrow, God's willing. Bye-bye.